Hello ladies and gentlemen, Bolt here, or Saucy I should say, probably, here, and today we're checking out round 2 between CK and Koenig. Now, Koenig is playing on the right side here, in red, as the 3rd armored, and CK is on the left side here as a 29th guard. So we are seeing some heavy tanks clash today. And I actually don't know who won this match, or I haven't even looked at the replay or the fight itself. So it's going to be quite entertaining here. Let's briefly look over the unit composition. So we'll start on Koenig's side. We have some rifles, flamethrowers, machine guns. We have a Command M8 Greyhound. So this guy is both a command and acts as an artillery observer. We have an M4, a Sherman with a 105mm assault gun. And we also have an M5 Stuart light tank being called in. Now for the middle, well I should say the left town, but for the center of the town we have some flamethrower infantry, some recon, and a machine gun, a 30 cal. A bit more to the right to this giant plateau here we have more flamethrowers, machine guns, engineers, rifles, a tank destroyer, and an M4 Sherman with a 105 as well. So quite a fast armored selection. And we have one lonely flamethrower being called in on the right side. CK has a T-3485, a PTRS squad, a 45mm, an Ognamachiki, 2 Maxim machine guns, and another Ognamachiki, another Maxim machine gun here for this open field. He's moving it up to that position right there. We have a Maxim and a 45mm being called in also for that hill. Now for the town, he has an IS-2, tank Desanikis, some Resvetkas, and flamethrower infantry. A bunch of Resvetkas and Strelkis with rifles being moved up to the plateau here, while all of these guys go to that center town. So let's get started. This is going to be really exciting. I personally love this map. I love fighting on the hill here to get some long-range engagements. So we'll see how this is going to turn out. This top side is really tricky. I am never really able to get like a good fight here at the top. Mainly because I am not the best with armored gameplays. I'm more of like a combined arms player in this game. So I like to take areas that are good for both tanks and infantry. So flamethrowers versus Ognamachikis, that is going to be interesting. Flamethrowers do fire first, Ognamachikis also fire, so both of these guys are equally screwed. It's basically a knife fight, both people will get stabbed. But the Ognamachikis survive. 30 cal is unloading here on the flank. That should be able to give some nice covering fire to anything that moves up on this road. At the bottom plateau we have flamethrowers, 30 cals, the M8, and all of the rifles being moved up to the front. 30 cal and the M8 do spot the 45mm. And actually managed to pin it down, and that is going to go bye-bye here in just a second. M20 with his 50 cal is stunning the crap out of the Ognamachikis. Really well positioned machine guns here. The IS-2 gets a little bit closer here and manages to shoot once at the M8, not hitting it. But that is going to probably prohibit Colonel from moving up too much armor. IS-2 and the tank destroyer are going head to head here. That is not even a problem for the IS-2, it just immediately demolishes that lightly armored tank destroyer. We got some engineers and flamethrowers moving up towards that center town. And we got some rifles here further south getting up a nice position here to support with all the M1 Garants, which have a pretty decent range, 500 meters. Now a big spearhead, and he is true to the division name, is forming in the middle. We have the M3s and engineers trying to capture as much territory as possible. If the engineers get into the town, that's going to be quite the problem for the T-34s to dislodge. T-34 is not firing at it for some reason. Does he not see these units? Oh, there we go, now he does. That is going to be a close one. Engineers are getting into that town. T-34 probably does not have, or did not have the depression to fire at him. Now the middle town engagement is going in favor of CK over here. He has moved up ever so slightly, but he keeps getting pinned down by that 50 cal. The fight here on the southern plateau, not really doing anything. CK does move a little bit of his units up. The recon is moving up, but immediately falls back after spotting that 30. The riflemen are just holding in that forest. I do have, or Colonel does have an off map coming in, and that could just wipe out everything here on that plateau. M5 being called in, not something you want to use to fight that IS-2, so I hope he is a bit careful with it. Strelkies take out the M20, and that opens up the entire approach basically to the rest of the town. Really nice push by CK here. M5 versus M2. Yep. Just gets demolished by the other M4 over here. The flamethrowers are stunned and actually surrendered to the tank Nikis. Now, although CK is doing much better in this town fight, it is still equal, mainly because Colonel has this one position here. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to hold this for long, though. But again, last time CK was also gaining a lot of territory in the beginning, but then gradually lost it to Colonel's combined forces. Jumbo being positioned here, really good front armor, 190. The gun is still weak compared to everything that the 29th Guard has, basically. Really, really good tank, though. It won't really have any problem taking out the 76, but it would need to move a little bit closer to really take it out quick. Off-map being called in by Colonel. There isn't really much there. Would have been better to use it maybe on the left side. M3's leading the charge, M5 holding in the back. All those Grants are just going nuts and taking out that infantry really quick, and they surrender to the M5s. And there is a spearhead push going on here on the south. That is beautiful to see. Strelkies are falling back, they're going to surrender. Resvatka is the only thing holding on this flank here. And that definitely makes CK spawn in pretty much everything he can. Off-map is hitting right on top of the IS-2. And this would be a good moment to push together with all of these light tanks. Direct hit on the IS-2 bounces. T-3476 does manage to hold the advance of Colonel here, but that second off map is going to be right on target. That's going to be beautiful. Transmission damaged. Oh man, if he moves in any more units into this upcoming off map area, that's going to be disastrous. But look at that. That front line is collapsed in the south. Strelkies are moving up though. Colonel did not secure the entrances to the town fast enough. So Strelky SVDs did manage to get in there. The M8 might destroy one of them? No? Well, one of them is gone. By the rifles here with the bazookas. The Strelkies managed to kill the M8 with its grenades. The M5 quickly stunning it. Together with the rifles, those guys are gone too. Look at that. The off-map is hitting right on the town. Basically stunning and wrecking just absolutely everything over there. Somehow he does still have a tank. Derzocker5 at the back here. Now the plateau fight is going in favor of CK, I would say. Colonel definitely lost that position and kind of slipped back here. A bounce by the 57mm. I don't think this is in favor of the IS-2, honestly. He is quite panicked. Meaning his accuracy, his reload time, like everything takes a big hit. So if he gets in range with a good anti-tank gun, this guy will not have a good time. The M10A1 tank destroyer is on the hill, but he does not have a line of sight on that IS-2. Really good tank destroyer, but weak front armor. The 105 here being used as both recon and a deterrent, I'm guessing. After Mchl's are moving in, that is going to actually wreck these riflemen. If he doesn't forget to unload, that is. Oh, that is disastrous. One of them gone before it manages to even unload. Another one gone. Oh, never mind. The other one did manage to unload, but already lost 4 men. That is quite bad here for CK. Now the after Mchl's also have really good anti-tank grenades. So this M5 I don't think is going to really survive for too long. T-3476 comes in, going to absolutely wreck this M4A1. The rifleman here though will manage to kill this tank if it comes up a little bit more. M8 doing its best against that 76. That's kind of adorable to see. So well done by CK to re-secure a foothold on that plateau. After Mchl's are moving really close, rifles are trying to engage that tank, but they get caught out in the open by 7 PPSHs. Now the middle town is going in favor of Colonel. So if we look at the conquest points, Colonel does have a lead of 1. Mainly because of the points over, I would say over here. This point right here, I think, is being really good for Colonel. Because it's basically in the middle, slightly more towards the red team's spawn. But any other position that I would think would make a bigger difference is, well, definitely the town. This open field is going to be really difficult to get. So I think the main battle is going to be fought over here. Riflemen are moving in. They do have bazookas. Those bazookas have a range of 250. So that tank is definitely in range here in just a second. If he moves up just a centimeter more... Oh man, that is lucky. Colonel needs to move into this building so he has a line of sight on that tank. There's a lot going on right now. Two bounces on that 76. Oh, there we go. He moves into range. And there goes that 76. Well played by Colonel there. The M4, the 1 of 5, manages to destroy that 45mm. The flamethrowers here. Will they survive against 7 Strelikies? It's just one dude. Yep, he manages to actually pin him down and make him surrender. That is some Saving Private Ryan moment right there. B-51 comes in. Destroys that Streliki squad. More rifles are being called in. Against 5 after Mchl's, they'll still have some problems, I think. Tank Derzocker5 with their Molotov cocktails does make Colonel fall back, which is a good thing to do. And that will enable some long-range fire support when they do move to the edge of the town. So he's doing the best thing that he can do here. Falling back, moving these guys to the edge of the town, and that will open up these guys to fire at them. So really well played there. They're basically, yep, they're gone. That's it. So that is a good bait strategy right there. Nothing happening in the top half of the map or on the entire plateau. Both members are focusing on either the town or the southern plateau right here. M8, wow, okay, M8 just wrecked a T-34. I mean, it has 70mm pen on that 37mm, and the T-34 did have his booty turned towards our M8. Kinda having trouble finding that carcass. Oh, there it is. Is that it? Oh, I actually took it out from the front. I am impressed. Another P-51 comes in, stuns some more infantry. The P-39 Cobra is being suppressed by all the 50 cals. And if you guys remember the early phase of Steel Division 2, the 50 cals were OP. They were destroying aircraft so quickly. They had to actually nerf them. It was that bad. Now the 57 gets a glancing blow on the 85. 85 is going to wreck that M3 over there. Oh, never mind, it's firing at the M8. M8 does get another hit, but bounces. The 57 is now going to have a crack at it. The 85 is going to fire first, though. Fires at the M3 instead. Ooh, does a lot of damage there. But that was just not enough. Maybe if he had one more. It looks like Colonel is slipping here on this flank. B-51 comes in, drops bombs right on top of the 85. But the amount of firepower that CK has here is overwhelming. Another IS-2 actually being called in. So that's quite a problem. Now finally, Colonel is managing to call in some 76mm. We also have some stewards being called in and a command one. Wow, okay, those bombs actually managed to kill one of the tanks. That is very, very good. That might give Koenig the upper hand here. Now he only has to deal with this IS-2, basically. The town fight has kind of stopped. There are some engagements on the plateau here. 76 manages to destroy this tank. A poor Sherman. Transmission damaged. I'm not quite sure what hit him. Oh, let's see. 76mm over here. And the second shot destroys it. Wow. 185mm with its APCR. That's... yeah. That's kind of rough. Now again, Colonel does have the lead here. In terms of income, CK was at the disadvantage in the beginning. It was at an advantage in mid-game, so in Phase B. But in Phase C, Koenig will have a 5-point advantage. But I don't think that's really going to make a difference. CK needs to push now, and he needs to push hard. If he doesn't manage to get the upper hand in Phase B, I don't think he's going to be able to come back in Phase C. Engineers versus Tank Thessaloniki's. Not going so well for the engineers. Oh, they did fire the TNT away at him. And that destroys him. Well played. Man, look at all that. That is intense. The stewards obviously will not move in with all of this overwhelming firepower by CK. They're just chilling in the back here. We do have another 57mm being called in, and the 76 Steward. Now speaking of 76 Steward, I kind of missed what happened to the other one. It looks like it got destroyed somewhere. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it got clapped. Yeah, that was it right there. It somehow got shot by something. Probably the T-3485 here. An A-20 coming in with a big old bomb loadout. Missing that destroyer. And also losing his life to P-51s. P-39 Cobra comes in. It's kind of weird to see American planes on American planes. But the Cobra, if he does get that lineup... I was gonna say, we'll be able to take out both of them. He manages to kill one and then retreats, which is a good call. We got some Strelikies moving to the town. As a defensive move, it looks like CK is just planning to defend this position and moving up here on this plateau. Another A-20 comes in with a big bomb landing right on top of this forest. There's only a machine gun in there, so he didn't really do much. Absolutely no movement whatsoever on the top half here. Mortars landing on the 85. .76. Possibly going for the 76. Yep, he does have a line of sight. He's going to fire first. He fires at the M2 instead. Luckily the 76 misses. Okay, he gets a really good hit on it. The stewards are moving up. And the second one kills it. Very well played here. It's kind of weird that it shot at the M2 first. T-3485 spots the rifleman. The M5s are trying to basically keep it busy, I would say. While the 76 actually tries to go for the penetration. Turret stuck. Luckily it doesn't need to move its turret, right? The first M5 gets wrecked. The T-34 will now target this M5. But he didn't even get the shot off because the 57 just wrecked that guy. So just like that, in those 20 seconds, Colonel has the upper hand here on this plateau. It's a really good back and forth. One thing I've noticed, both opponents or both players haven't really used any long-range artillery. It's been either mortars or off-map. And just as I say that, CK is calling in a Katyusha. Like, I haven't seen any howitzers being used in one way or the other. It's only been off-map and like light mortars. We got the Katyusha raining over here. That is only going to kill the command steward. Maybe that would have been better on the town. Yeah, it's a good move by Colonel to move his tanks up over here. I guess CK thought he maybe still had some armor over there. Well played by both members. T-3485 firing at the machine gun, which Probably doesn't really matter for Colonel. He does move up some more light tanks over here to just hold this position. We got a Calliope returning the favor. And shoots at the T-3045. None of the rockets actually hitting. He's getting really close. But you need basically a direct hit to really do anything against these heavy tanks. M10A1 and the M4 with the 105mm are moving up. CK is investing a lot of points on this plateau. We got 2 T-3485s, an Su-85. This guy is not having a good time here in just a second. Ooh, that missed. The second one hit. It does not have good armor. He does manage to kill the 85 before he gets taken out. Now that is a good trade. That was super lucky here for Colonel. Again, Colonel has that RNG factor going on here today. Machine gun suppressing the 45. One more volley will take that thing out. There we go. Got another A20 coming in with a ton. Literally a ton of high explosives. Right on top of the poor M3. Nope, right on top of where the tank was. The M5 barely survives. 2 P-51s being called in to go after the Boston. They're just not fast enough. The P-39 Cobra comes in, but gets stunned? Yep, nope. He just evacuates just before he gets stunned. This P-51 then turns in. Will he manage to shoot it down? Yes, he will. Well played by Colonel. Another P-39 Cobra comes in to return the favor. Tries to catch up to him. But he doesn't. It's not fast enough. That was well played by Colonel right there. Still quite a lot of infantry movement over here on that plateau. The middle plateau is quite stagnant. I do have to mention that CK does not really have anything to stop Colonel from pushing up here. He has one T-3485 to kind of cover the reverse slope here. But in terms of infantry, there's really not much going on. T-3485s, IS-2s, and an Su-85 are just moving ahead ever so slightly to set up a line of fire support here. A20 gets panicked by the AA from General. He does get the bomb off right on top of the 76, taking that out. But will they destroy it? Nope, he makes it out, but barely. That thing is smoking. I would like to see some off-map right over here. Another Jumbo being called in. That would be perfect here at max range. IS-2 was about to blast that M3, but seeing all this firepower, Colonel is moving up ever so slightly, which is a great move. This has... I thought he was about to move up here to this tree line and then into the town, but he stopped his attack. Jumbo at max range, hitting that Su-85. Destroying the Su-85. Having absolutely no problem with the T-3485's hits. Almost hits the 85 as well. The IS-2 moves in next. That thing is going to be a problem. But an unexpected turn of events. The 57 goes back into the action. Hits it once, but bounces Third struck on the M10A1 over here. He does manage to get one hit on the T-3485, but gets destroyed with one hit himself. The Jumbo comes in, bounces on the 85. We do have the Calliope firing right on top of him. There we go. With that, this guy's basically done for. He's fallen back. The IS-2 does not really get hit by the Calliope. IS-2 instead manages to get out of it unscathed and goes for the Jumbo. Jumbo gets kind of a side shot on him, doing quite a lot of damage. He bounces an IS-2. Okay. If Colonel manages to kill this IS-2 with this Jumbo, that's it. Like, he is the RNG god. The 57 also comes in. Not quite sure what it's firing at. On the IS-2, we got rockets landing right on top of him. Or bombs, I should say. Bounces. That guy's almost stunned. The Jumbo, yep, he does lose. But that is how that should have gone. The IS-2 is insane. Its gun is absolutely nuts. Now, Katusha is still holding in the back. He is still depleted, not rearmed. Looks like Colonel is the only one rearming his artillery units. Now, in terms of like the initial positions that either member held, nothing has really changed. It has been a meat grind over here. The town hasn't really seen much action. Colonel just decided to get back what half of the town fell into his side and is now defending. And both members are just flooding this top plateau with armored units. The Boston once again dropping some big old bombs, ruining those rifles. We got another Calliope landing right on top of the blob here. Nope. Oh, it killed that IS-2 though. That's worth it. Also got a few direct hits on that town. Calliope coming in clutch. IS-2 is gone. Three T-3485s are left. There's also another IS-2 moving up here. I think Colonel just kind of forgot about the units that he has here. He hasn't really been moving anything. Now finally, maybe with that, he gets that impulse to move up. Yep, these guys are pinned down. And that should tell him something. Does look like CK is taking over this southern plateau. A lot of Strelkys moving up in the front. We got tanks holding back really good defensive positions. 3 85s and an IS-2. Going to be quite painful. A-20 Boston manages to drop the bomb once again. P-51s come in, that's going to take that out. But it is a bit too late. Man, that is cool to see. Let's see what's happening over here. The T-3485 is fallen back ever so slightly. Colonel's moving up on the edge of the town. He does not have a strong tank on top of it, on top of this place. He does have a Jumbo moving up on the flank. But he needs to kind of watch out for that 45mm. Plateau fight. Firmly in the hands, or in the advantage of CK. Bazooka. Just out of range, I think, for the bazooka. Man, that is unfortunate. We do have the Calliope opening up. Double Calliope. I'm surprised that isn't really killing any of these tanks. The splash damage is not good enough for these distant hits, basically. Now, he finally does what I hoped he would do, which is to reinforce this town. Because there's basically 3 conquest points that Colonel could take if he has this town. Another 820 comes in, manages to drop the bombs. He barely manages every time. That is taking out that 50 cal. Jumbo is still alive. But he will have to fight against 2 of these 85s here. Now at this point, it does look like CK is about to win. CK has this conquest point now taken care of. He firmly has a grip on these 2. The town I don't think is going to fall that easily. But it does look like Colonel is making a big push here in the north. But anything that kind of moves up over here is going to have some problems. Poor M3. Yeah, this is really looking bad for Colonel. P-39 Cobra's coming in, one of them getting stunned, the other one is evacuating. Looks like, yep, they just survived. I am surprised, actually. Poor supply truck, man. Wow. The M10 just wrecked that T-34 at that range, at maximum range, while being like half panicked. What an RNG. T-34-85, the last one, is now fallen back. The rifles would have been able to get that bazooka off if they were just a little bit faster. P-51 comes in, drops some bombs on them. Yeah, that's a bit too far for the rifles. Really well played by Colonel there. Jumbo got his transmission damage, but manages to destroy that one T-34-85. And now there's a fresh push on the far, far northern flank. And here's another really good strategy that Colonel is implementing. By pushing over here for quite some time, CK moved most of his units to this position, including some units from the northern flank. And now he's moving up on the far northern flank, so he's keeping CK530 really on his toes. Also, he somehow manages to hold this reverse hill, or reverse slope here, as I like to call it. Having some riflemen here with bazookas will basically make it impossible for any of these tanks to move across. He does, however, need this point back to balance it out. We are at 37 minutes. None of the opponents are even close to giving up, I would say. There's one conquest point being contested there. This town might fall into Colonel's hands if he manages to take out this T-34. Man, he is unfortunately firing at the Strelickies there. They were definitely on attack move. They could have taken out that 85 easily. Another Calliope strike on the blob of infantry. That's a doorbell, but we got a war to fight. Riflemen are moving up. We got the M4A3 and the M4A1s, really good Shermans, just holding that slope together with the Stewart and the command Stewart. The Jumbo is still in. Oh, still in the fight, I was gonna say, but he just got wrecked by the IS-2, who's now getting fired at by the 76. Knocking out the shooter. He will get another shot. Okay. Colonel, you got some sick RNG. That guy isn't even like veteran or anything. That is so lucky. And that is the end. Man, what a fight. That was an insane fight. We got the M10A1 destroying some half-tracks. We got the M4... Let me see here. I want to see that big old kills. This rifleman killing an IS-2 and a T-34. I might have missed the IS-2 action there. We got a bunch more tank kills by AT guns. We got this guy destroying 2 tanks. They did really good. That was very well played by both people, by both opponents. Really well played. So that basically puts this first match in the Olympics 1v1 firmly in the hands of Colonel Koenig. So that was the first kind of brawl, the showdown in this tournament. We are going to be continuing with the other members, so definitely stay tuned, subscribe for more Steel Division 2. I am going to continue this series, and hopefully you guys will enjoy literally every episode. So stay tuned. Bye bye.